Welcome to the 12th annual Yale-NEABPD conference. Today we're going to be talking about assessing and treating suicidality. I'm really excited to have the lineup of speakers that we have today. They're going to be really terrific. We really appreciate them and their willingness to come and share today. I also want to thank NEABPD for helping us put on this conference for 12 years. It's been a wonderful working relationship. In addition to Perry Hoffman, we have several board members of NEABPD here today. We so appreciate you coming and all the work that you do for BPD. In addition, the conference is supported by the Yale-New Haven Psychiatric Hospital. We really appreciate their support and everything that Yale-MU has done to help us with that. We also appreciate the support of the Department of Psychiatry in holding this conference today. And finally, we also wish to acknowledge our sponsors who make this program possible, Clearview Treatment Programs and Silver Hill Hospital. Please make sure to visit their exhibitor tables in the lobby, along with our other exhibitors today. Finally, I want to thank the enormous number of volunteers that help us actually get this together. This is an entire volunteer group of individuals, not only the conference coordinators that organize everything, but our conference staff, especially Joan Kricka, Nicole Ellerbeck, and Alini Rodriguez have just organized so much of this year. And then the many conference volunteers you will see throughout the auditorium today, collecting your index cards and helping you out. They have volunteers on their tags. Please thank them because they have really contributed to making this day possible. Next, I'm going to have Perry Hoffman, the president of NEABPD and co-director of the conference, come up and tell you a little bit about their work.
Thank you, Emily, and welcome to everybody. It's wonderful to think that this has been going on for 12 years, and each year we get many more people coming. So it's thanks to the wonderful work that Emily's done and her staff and Seth Axelrod, who really started all of this. I'm not going to give many opening remarks today, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But what I'd like to do first and foremost is to officially launch our new website here. So Todd's going to help me get it up on the screen. Well, this is a labor of love of 9 months of working on a website that we hope to be user-friendly and access and help people more easily access our resources. We're very proud to say that we're number 2 on Google. So our search engine optimization better hold, otherwise we'll start to slip. So we're praying that we stay up there, and we hope that you'll join us on our site. And I just want to give you a little bit of sense of what is on the site. It's hard to use a mouse without a mouse pad.
Well, yeah, you can use, just want to scroll down. Yeah,
And if you just go to our, explore our media library.
okay, hang on.
No, it's back down. Thanks, perfect.
Okay, I've got too many things up here.
Yeah, can you just scroll it
I
down?
understand.
Good, thanks so much. So one of the things that we've worked most hard at is to make sure that all of our conference videos, we have the largest media library in the world, and what took so long to get this site up is organizing all of our videos to make it more user-friendly. So we hope that you'll join our site, look at it, send us comments of things you'd like to have different, but we think that you'll find it a resource not only for yourself, but if you are working, if you're a clinician or you're a family member, you'll find this site, we hope, very valuable for all that you're doing around borderline personality disorder. So it's now my pleasure to introduce Paule de Valdivia. And the reason that I've asked her to come and do the opening remarks is that actually Paule came to this conference 7 years ago, and she came over and introduced herself to me. She's a mom of someone with the disorder. And she said, you know, we need help. and right away I just saw there was a star there. And so we chatted, and we started to get her up and trained to do our Family Connections program, which she'll talk a little bit about. She then decided, although she has her MBA and was in business, she went back and got her degree in social work. From there, she had several jobs, one of which at the Bridge, which she loved, and most recently she's now back at Yale with a faculty appointment. So from those 7 years of being at this conference, she's now here as part of the Yale faculty, and so I thought it best that she more introduce NEABPD since she's our executive vice president. So please welcome Paule de Valdivia.
Thank you. Welcome, welcome. It's such a pleasure. It's a little bit like a birthday for me here. You know, I was here 7 years ago, and it was sort of my first step in this direction, and here we are. So welcome to the 12th year of a wonderful collaboration between NEABPD and Yale. This is the longest running conference, continuous conference on BPD in the world, which is absolutely amazing. And it exists because of the resilience and the dedication of Dr. Hoffman, whom you just met, and Dr. Axelrod, who reached out to Dr. Hoffman 12 years ago and said, we need to do something about this, and whose dedication to reducing stigma, as well as helping people with the lived experience of the disorder, as well as working with families and helping families help their patients, has been beyond none other. So since then, in the past 12 years, the DBT program here at Yale has grown quite a bit, again, with Dr. Axelrod teaching students year after year. I was lucky enough to be one of his students, and what an honor and a learning experience that was. So thank you, Seth. And now I'm lucky enough also to be working in the adolescent division, so Dr. Axelrod's DBT sort of leadership is spreading from the adult area to the adolescent area, and that's where I'm working now. NEA, in the past 12 years, has grown enormously as well. Here's a little bit of what we have done. You just heard about this website, which is an incredible resource. And regardless of whether you are a clinician or a family member or somebody who lives with the disorder, I encourage you to go and look for information in there. There is a lot there to offer. Other things that NEA has been really busy with is facilitating various conferences, both in the US. Our next one is in Houston in June, and it is going to be focused on early detection and prevention. And internationally, our next international conference, very exciting, is in Israel towards the end of the year. So conferences, we also work hard to support other organizations who have a similar goal as our goal. So Brendan Marshall's Project 375, we're aligned with that program to help provide family education, as well as a phenomenal organization in Canada that has really sort of grown and exploded there called Sacha Bear. And through Sacha Bear, we also offer the Family Connections program. The crown jewel, if you will, of our organization is Family Connections, the program that Perry alluded to. Family Connections served maybe a few hundred families 5 years ago. Today, we serve several thousand families every year in the US and in 17 countries around the globe. This class is free. It is trained parent-led. It's a 12-week class, and it offers skills and support and psychoeducation. And it is evidence-based, but really the best evidence is all the quotes and feedback we get from families who are invariably so thankful and find the class incredibly helpful. So we teach a lot of skills in that class, and the skills are immediately applicable to families and help the family functioning move forward. And I should say that this class was developed by Dr. Hoffman, as well as Dr. Fusetti, when NEA was founded. So an incredible program. Full-fledged NEA affiliates have sprung over the past 10 years. So there is an NEA Australia, there is an NEA Canada, there's an NEA Italy, and they function pretty independently, but of course with our support, everybody is a volunteer in this organization. Quickly back to family connections, of course family connections in all those countries, also family connections in our region. So for those of you who are family members or who experience the disorder and have family members who would benefit from the class, we offer an ongoing continuous class in White Plains, and then we also have a class 2 weekends a year here on the New Haven campus, thanks to the hospitality of the hospital. So in those classes, what we hear after maybe 2 or 3 sessions is parents saying to us, if only we had known, if only we had known. When they start to get the skills and they see that it's really not that hard, it's just not very intuitive, but it's not that hard, some guilt starts to come in because, it would have been nice to have started doing this when our kids were 3 and 5 and 10. But of course, as parents, we didn't know. So a huge and recent effort that NEA has undertaken and is really pushing is early detection and prevention. And that's a little bit different for us. It involves talking to perhaps pediatricians or deciding if we want to talk with schools, trying to talk with parents in the very earlier stages of the disease. And so how do we connect at that level? Many of us are really curious about the high level of bipolar disorder that is diagnosed among children, and we wonder, maybe it is the case, and maybe a lot of people who struggle with severe emotional dysregulation are diagnosed that way, but could benefit from parent and family education. So that's a lot of the work that we're doing this. And as a final point, we do all of this as volunteers because borderline as an illness is not receiving a lot of funds from NIMH. It is a minute amount that as opposed to most other disorders, mental health disorders, such as schizophrenia, for example. So NEA got actually, was able to get invited in a couple of weeks to visit with the president of NIMH, and we will try to make a strong case for more funds, but any kind of help in that direction will be incredibly supportive and helpful. So that's the stuff that NEA is doing. I thank you so much for being here. Any one of you who is interested in volunteering, please approach Perry, approach me. We have several board members here, and on for a fabulous conference this year again. And thank you to you, Dr. Ansell, for leading us here.